Yeah.
You know, rest in peace, David. A nigga lost his life.
Yeah.
You know, rest in peace, David Taylor. You know, he lost his life because Max B was being a bum ass nigga. I just feel the way when everybody is celebrating this nigga for coming home, like this nigga was a freedom fighter.
Do you feel like, you know, he's been rehabilitated though, and he regrets what he did from back in them days, man?
That nigga been in the front of 100 microphones since he been home. He don't show no remorse. He didn't say anything about having remorse about what he did. You know what I'm saying? He not telling these young niggas out here, yo, I went to jail. What I went to jail for was wrong. You know, I shouldn't have did it. I regret it. A man lost his life. Rest in peace to him. You know, my sympathy out to his family. None of that. No, nigga, I'm wavy. I got jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, and these niggas is all around him. A bunch of broke niggas are around him. And they seeing this nigga get all his jewelry and all his praise for robbing and killing a nigga.
Max B been home barely 2 weeks, and he already moving like he never left, linking with all the right people and lining up every major cosign out here. He just sat at the round table with Cameron and Mace, and the whole city been buzzing ever since. He hasn't even dropped new music yet, but he hitting stages, packing out every spot, and stacking real money already. But just know, not everybody wants to see him shining after spending 18 years locked up. Some folks can't handle seeing someone come home and level up this fast. Yeah, everybody knows the serious case he did time for, but when you actually serve your time and walk out that gate, is the whole world supposed to force you into being some activist now? If you weren't living like Malcolm X before going in, nobody should expect you to pop out acting like Malcolm X now, especially in rap, where image is everything. Rappers are gonna get to the bag first. That's the reality. But here's where it gets wild. Choke no joke. A known videographer who been around since the Rockefeller era, worked in Atlanta and New York and seen everything behind the scenes, he calling out Max B heavy, and the energy he bringing is sounding straight up hateful. I mean extreme hate, the type that feels messy from the jump. It's nasty out here, so let's get into it. Max B is on a serious run right now, moving non-stop and connecting with all the right people as soon as he touched down. Folks in the city even switching sides just to rock with him because he's the wave in New York at the moment. Every club he steps into is packed out and everybody's hyped to see him winning again. And now he's back in the studio with Harry Fraud. Yes, the same Harry Fraud who's been crafting Max's sound for years and been behind him since way back. That alone got the streets talking. But with all that shine, you can feel the hate floating around too. I gotta be honest about that. And shout out to Choke No Joke, because I've watched his work for years and the man really did put in time as a videographer and producer. He's been everywhere behind the scenes, especially during those classic Rockefeller days, and his grind was real. I can't act like he didn't earn his position. But at the same time, let's keep it real. Choke No Joke has had issues with pretty much everybody tied to those Rockefeller days. That history follows him, and it definitely colors how he speaks on situations. I gotta keep it honest right here. Shout out to Choke No Joke, but he really did fall out with a whole lot of people from back in the day. It felt like every time you turned around, he had something to say about somebody. He's done Vlad interviews, he's been in front of every major camera, and he's had every major name in front of his own lens too. Nobody can deny he put in real work, that's facts. But let's be real, I've heard him go back and forth about Cameron, and those were people he used to rub shoulders with and actually had relationships with back in the day. I've heard him speak on Jay-Z, and now he turning his attention to Max B. And remember, Max B is out here making the smartest moves possible right now, sitting at the round table with the biggest voices in Harlem. The last thing he needs is a cloud of negativity trying to follow him around. And I'm not the type to call everything hate, but you can hear it when Choke No Joke talks. That tone tells the whole story, and it spills out heavy, no lie. Meanwhile, Max B is outside living life for real. He's locked in with Cam and Mace, and those two are ready to push him to the next level without hesitation. This is smart business, smart alignment, and these guys are not playing with the industry right now, especially with their own talk show, Rolling Strong. Cam got his own talk show, It Is What It Is, and he and Maze got their sports show popping too, so they're out here making real money and building their own lane, and now they trying to line Max B up in the right position, which is exactly why he's sitting at that round table with them right now. Listen close to this part, because what Choke No Joke says about Max coming home is wild. And let's be respectful for a second. Somebody did lose their life in that old situation. Rest in peace to that man. I never speak bad on anyone who passed, and everything I'm saying is with respect. The case was serious, and the paperwork shows Max wasn't actually on the scene when the tragedy happened, but decisions he made played a part in how the whole situation started. That's the reality, and nobody's running from that. So with all that history in mind, lock in on what this videographer, or should I say activist now, Choke No Joke had to say. Because the way he talking is intense, and it got the internet watching every word he drops. Right away, Choke No Joke jumped in heavy, talking like Max came home moving reckless. But hold up a second, is Choke really trying to play judge and jury out here? That's what it sounds like. He's saying Max got no remorse, but the man just did 18 years behind a wall. 18 years is not light. And let's not forget, he was originally sentenced to 75 years before that time got reduced. So clearly the court saw enough in his case to bring that sentence down. And now folks expect him to come home and jump in front of a camera saying, I regret this, I regret that. Why would he need to do that when he already served his time? Most rappers don't sit on camera giving speeches like that. They show growth through how they move, how they work, and how they carry themselves now. And let's be real about the Harlem energy back then. Everybody was struggling. Everybody was trying to find a way out. And sometimes people made the wrong moves trying to get ahead. That doesn't excuse anything, but it explains the reality of the era he came from. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like everything Choke No Joke says holds zero truth. Sometimes he makes points that are okay for the younger crowd to learn from. But come on, Max has only been home for 2 weeks. 2 weeks! So what are we even doing right now? This conversation is way too early and way too dramatic for a man who just stepped back into the world. Ooh, people keep acting like Max B was supposed to come home preaching life lessons. But let's be real, that was never who he was before he went inside. Before jail, he wasn't out here giving speeches to kids or trying to be some community leader. He was beefing with Jim Jones, getting money, moving wavy, and living like a Harlem artist at the height of his moment. That's the Max B people connected with. That's the energy they loved, and that's the lane he built. So when I hear Choke No Joke going off like this, it feels like straight hate. And I'm saying that with my chest. Pay attention to the tone. It sounds like someone who's had issues with almost everybody in the industry. And now he's throwing shots at Max like he's trying to go viral off the moment. And let's keep it honest. The clip did go viral, so maybe that was the whole goal. I don't know if it's the Atlanta side of him or just his style, but I'm from New York City. And when somebody comes home trying to move better, I want to see them win. Some folks show their growth by how they move, not by standing in front of a camera giving speeches they never gave before. Why should Max B suddenly jump on camera talking about kids, do this, do that? He wasn't living like Malcolm X before he went in. He wasn't speaking like that back then, so why demand it now? It doesn't make sense, and honestly, it feels like people forcing expectations that were never his lane to begin with. Now that Max B got that official cosign from Cam'ron, things starting to look real different. And let's not forget, Choke No Joke was just beefing with Cam'ron not too long ago. I pay attention to everything happening out here, and they were going back and forth, throwing little shots at each other on live. So is that where this sudden wave of hate is really coming from? Because it's looking suspicious.
Yeah.
You know, rest in peace, David. A nigga lost his life.
Yeah.
You know, rest in peace, David Taylor. You know, he lost his life because Max B was being a bum ass nigga. I just feel the way when everybody is celebrating this nigga for coming home like this nigga was a freedom fighter.
Do you feel like, you know, he's been rehabilitated though, and he regrets what he did from back in them days, man?
That nigga been in the front of 100 microphones since he been home. He don't show no remorse. didn't say anything about having remorse about what he did. You know what I'm saying? He not telling these young niggas out here, yo, I went to jail. What I went to jail for was wrong. You know, I shouldn't have did it. I regret it. A man lost his life. Rest in peace to him. You know, my sympathy out to his family. None of that. No, nigga, I'm wavy. I got jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, and these niggas is all around him. A bunch of broke niggas are around him. And they seeing this nigga get all his jewelry and all his praise for robbing and killing a nigga.
And let me keep it real. Choke ain't even from the city like that. He was one of those dudes who got lucky enough to be around major names like Jay-Z, Dame Dash, all those powerful figures from the old Rockefeller era. And I respect the grind, I respect the work, because he did put in years behind the scenes. But man, this right here, this gotta be a joke. There's no way he's serious talking like this. He's out here saying Max B got broke people around him. But what rapper doesn't have folks from the block around them? That's how hip-hop always been. That's how artists stay grounded. So I'm trying to understand where all this negativity is coming from, because it feels deep, personal, and built up from issues he's had with other people in the industry for years. I know Choke went through a lot during the Rockefeller days, and I'm not trying to take away anything from the work he put in, but this situation right here, it does not make him look good at all. Coming at Max B right as he's rebuilding his life looks messy, and it looks bitter, and I gotta be real. It's a bad look. Since when did Max B need to jump out here preaching to kids anyway? That was never his lane before, so why demand it now? When you're linking with Funk Flex and moving around trying to rebuild your whole career, it's clear Max B is still finding his lane in the game, and that's completely normal after 18 years away. He's still figuring things out, still reconnecting, still learning the new landscape. That's facts. What he doesn't need right now is unnecessary negativity from people who should know better. Nobody in his circle wants that energy around him, and honestly, nobody in the city wants to see that either. I hate this situation for Max B because he's trying to focus on his life and grind, and I hate it for Choke No Joke too, because this kind of hate doesn't help him either. Max hasn't even really started talking yet. He just had his first interview drop today. He hasn't jumped into long conversations, hasn't spoken his full truth, hasn't done anything except perform, reconnect, and stack up some well-earned money. He's simply trying to live life and get back to work. And let's keep it real. Serving 18 years in the penitentiary is more than enough payment for your past mistakes. That brother paid his dues in full, twice over. So for him to come home and sit at the round table with Mace and Cam, that's a major accomplishment and something he earned through survival and resilience. But this hate coming from Choke No Joke, it looks nasty. It's pouring out heavy, like something sitting deep in his chest. My guy, cleanse yourself, for real. Because right now it just looks messy. And I don't know if it's because you're not from New York and you don't fully understand the Harlem energy, or if it's something deeper you've been carrying from your past. But whatever it is not a good look when a man is simply trying to stand back up and rebuild his life. Max B, linking with Funk Flex and moving around the city, shows he's rebuilding his whole career step by step. And that's exactly what anyone would expect after being gone 18 years. He's still locking back in, still reconnecting, still studying the new game. That's real life. And what he absolutely does not need right now is extra negativity from people who should be cheering him on instead of tearing him down. Nobody around him wants that energy, and honestly, the whole city tired of seeing that kind of noise. I hate seeing this happen to Max B because he's focused on grinding, performing, and trying to enjoy his freedom. And I hate it for Choke No Joke too, because this type of hate don't help him either. Max hasn't even fully spoken yet. His first interview literally just dropped. He hasn't sat down for deep conversations, hasn't told his whole story, hasn't done anything but hit stages, reconnect with his people, and earn back what he lost. He's just trying to live, breathe, and work again. And let's be honest, doing 18 years in the penitentiary is more than enough payment for your past. That man paid his dues with his time, his life, his freedom. So for him to come home and sit with Mace and Cam at that round table, that's not just a moment. That's an achievement built on survival, discipline, and straight resilience. But the hate coming from Choke No Joke, it looks rough. It sounds heavy, like something he been holding inside for too long. My guy, cleanse that energy for real, because right now it just looks messy and unnecessary.
You know, rest in peace, David Taylor. You know, he lost his life because Max B was being a bum ass nigga. I just feel the way when everybody is celebrating this nigga for coming home, like this nigga was a freedom fighter.
Do you feel like, you know, he's been rehabilitated though, and he regrets what he did from back in them days, man?
That nigga been in the front of 100 microphones since he been home. He don't show no remorse. He didn't say anything about having remorse about what he did. You know what I'm saying? He not telling these young niggas out here, yo, I went to jail. What I went to jail for was wrong. You know, I shouldn't have did it. I regret it. A man lost his life. Rest in peace to him. You know, my sympathy out to his family. None of that. No, nigga, I'm wavy. I got jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, and these niggas is all around him. A bunch of broke niggas are around him.
Keep going in my DM, ask me about Max B, man. Thank God that the man is home. I got nothing to say about him. God bless him. Yes, I used to manage all the Dipset. Yes, Max B is someone that I always loved. And everybody know I always loved the nigga French. Even when I was with Dipset, I didn't give a fuck. Never got in nobody's business. But one thing I calculated and always do, because I know our artists do, fight tomorrow, friends the next day. I never got in anybody's business. Stop asking me about Max B's business, about yesterday bullshit. Do any of you motherfuckers got your own life? Shout out to French Montana, Max B, and all the coke wave. I don't get in people's business. When I was with Puff, I was with Jay. When I was with Jay, I was with DMX. When I was with DMX, I was with Mariah. When I was with Raya, I was with Drew Hill. When Cam pulled me in, he deliberately told me, yo, I don't want you bodyguarding nothing. You're a manager. I deliberately told Cam, I'm not getting in none of Dipset beef. I am not a blood. I am not a gangster. I am a corporate businessman now. And fuck you motherfuckers that don't like it. That's why I'm living a nice life. Free. For 30 years I've been home. 30 years. So no. The only thing I got to say about Max B is I pray that he stay on the right path and he don't allow the internet to distort anything he got going on. One thing I can say about French Montana, he stayed one way his entire life that I've known him, and I've known him for years. He never wavered. And that's how you be successful. Big Joe has always been Big Joe. You motherfuckers didn't know me. You know I don't put no grit on my face. You know this smile will get you fucked up. Even now. But you know, I'm not with the tough talking shit. I'm not with talking, but I'm not down with no nigga. I wasn't doing that with Cam, with Diddy, with Puff. When I was bodyguarding, you step to my artist, I do what I gotta do. When I was managing, I managed. I didn't give a fuck about nobody's beef. Understand that, and please stop going in my DM, ask me about Max B. Yo, I get it now. Just like I didn't get Kaiser Sozak in that movie back in the days, I get what the fuck is going on. And I figured it out yesterday. Somebody hit my page and said something. They said, yo, Joe, man, 12 years ago, you didn't fight for Cam, man. When True Life stepped to him, you was right there. And I said to myself, I'm about to go hard on this nigga. Like, yeah, motherfucker, real motherfuckers don't fight for motherfuckers, ain't start no fight themselves. They don't do that. You gotta start your fight, then I get in it. Especially if I don't work for you no more, but then I thought about it. I said, hold up. Who is this motherfucker? I went online and pulled it up and I saw who he was and I saw his affiliation and I put it together. Yo, you motherfuckers are geniuses. This shit is all orchestrated. Because none of the beefs are new. All this shit is old. Over 10 years. But who the dummy? You motherfuckers done figured out that if you talk and hate each other and go crazy on the internet, your algorithm will go up. Your love will go up. People will choose sides and you will get more money. And this is how you will get show money. I should have known. Cam, the motherfucker who taught me how to walk in Steve Gottlieb's office at Def Jam, how to go from Allen to Atlantic and sell the same mixtape, how to go across the country to Fontaine and sell the same music. And then he would call and say, I didn't approve that. How did it happen? You a fucking genius. You got the whole world thinking it's a beef when it's nothing. And I'm sitting there scratching my head talking about, I don't give a fuck if you niggas didn't talk to me because I ain't fight for this nigga. I wasn't going to jail and getting the beef that wasn't my beef. In all reality, it's all business. You a smart motherfucker, all you motherfuckers. And I'm going to tell you who the masterminds are. And all this shit always. 50 Cent, Cameron, Mace. Because motherfuckers like me and Jim Jones, we hot-headed. We flip first. But they don't understand, even we think now. I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Now I got it. You motherfuckers is geniuses. After seeing all this Diddy shit and all this other shit, everybody hates a winner and everybody tear each other down. You said, let's get some money. Show's gonna go up, more followers. Everybody going to your page to see what you're gonna say next. Smart man. Smart 2, 3 black men. What should I say 4? God bless you all. Keep winning.
And I don't know if it's because you're not from New York and the Harlem vibe don't hit you the same, or if it's old feelings from old industry stories, but whatever it is, it's not a good look when a man is simply trying to stand up and rebuild his life again. And before you dip, make sure you subscribe to Dripzine, hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video, and help the algorithm push this story out by smashing that hype this video button. Thank you.